Hello, it's Leslie, and I wanted to start this week by saying hi to Austin Warren Design. I just noticed a couple days ago that he was subscribed, and yeah, he's a really cool guy. Check out his channel. He's basically, I think of him like the Nate Berkus of YouTube, because they kind of look the same, and he does design stuff, but more on a budget, more affordable, and more crafty, more like do-it-yourself stuff. And I don't know, he's just a really cool guy, and he has, I think, one of the most contagious smiles I've ever seen. He's just always smiling, and I just find that I end up smiling when I'm watching his videos. So I'll put the link to his channel below and check that out. And it also got me thinking, because he does little tips and stuff, and I want to do in the future. I have some more pictures and frames and stuff I want to hang in the next few months, but once those are up, I think I want to take my camera and do a little tour, like decor tour or whatever around the apartment. And I have, since watching his videos, actually noticed that I'm kind of proud of some of the things I have done, some of my little do-it-yourself things. So yeah. Also, for this update, I'm just going to talk about what's been going on. There's been a lot of changes in my life, and I've kind of been on a very emotional roller coaster the last 2 weeks, but I'm feeling better. It's getting better, and I'm getting it figured out. So, where to start? Okay, I've mentioned in the past that I have issues from the past, from the farther past, that I'm trying to dig up and finally deal with instead of, running from them, hiding from them, avoiding them like I've been doing for like 15 years. So, while doing that, I've I've been learning a lot about myself, and it hasn't been easy, but I keep kind of trying to figure it out. But I've never been to a therapist. I've never seen a counselor really. Like I had a school counselor that I saw a couple times after my brother passed away, but um, not anything really regular. So I just was trying to do it on my own. And, I've been making progress, but it takes time. And so I've been trying to figure out all these things, and I know they're all intertwined. My eating problem with my disorganization problem, and all these little things. And I screwed up along the way. One thing I kind of did is, okay, with my relationship with my boyfriend, that's like one of the things that didn't need fixed, kind of. Like that's the one thing that was like, good. I'm like, I'm set. That's a good thing, But the problem is I was so focused on not worrying about that I ended up like totally neglecting him, and like um when I would be upset, like my venting would get lashed out on him, or like he I was like I was expecting him to be my like, therapist, and that's not fair. And so that came to my attention last week, which was a good thing, because it's not fair if I'm treating him that way, and I didn't even realize it. I just thought, everything's good, but and when I stopped and thought about it, I'm like, wow, I have kind of been a jerk lately. So awareness is really important. So it was good because I was taking him for granted, and coming to that realization helped me to realize that this is taking too long. I need some help. So what I did was I didn't sign up. I just showed up. There's no sign up. On the radio, on the Christian radio station here, I had heard about I don't know if it's be considered a program. I don't know. It's a weekly meeting, and it's called Finding Freedom, and it's kind of loosely, it's like a 12-step program, but it's not just for alcoholics or something like that. It's for people with any addiction, whether it be alcohol, drugs, gambling, food addictions, or any kind of addiction that's kind of controlling your life, or also someone that doesn't even have an addiction but just has something in their life that has left them kind of broken and needing some healing. So I'd heard about that on the radio and I'd like written down the website and I never looked it up. But after last weekend, I'm like, you know what, I need, I feel like this is the right thing. So I'm going to check it out. So I did, and it was really, really good. The format basically is it starts out with a couple, three or four, I think, praise and worship songs. And then there's kind of a little presentation, I guess. Someone just talks about certain things that week. There's a different kind of topic. And then some more praise and worship, and then a little coffee break, and then small group discussion. And that I found was really, really helpful. All of it, actually. But in the small group, I was in a group of 7 women, including myself. And it was just really, it was inspiring to see other people working so hard to heal their issues. And also, it was humbling to see, like, I'm no different than, um, like, okay, people don't think of like a food addict, like, it's kind of overlooked. But things like a drug addict or a gambling addict or an alcoholic, they're taken a lot more seriously, So, but it was humbling to see, like, all of us that have these issues, what our compulsion, what we're doing is just a reaction to something that's wrong in our lives. So, despite the fact that I've never done drugs, I've never had problems with gambling or drinking, I'm really no different than someone with those kind of addictions. It's just that we found a different outlet. And it was humbling. And I'd kind of figured this out. Um, that's what it is. My globe is making noises. I'd kind of figured this out in December. And I had looked up a 12-step program and that, and I was going to try to figure out how it would help me. And I never did, but yeah, it's good. It's a good thing because I don't know. I think it will help me. I'm still going to be doing my own little thing to help me, just, on my own too. But I think it'll be good also for me to be in a position where um, I have a kind of support group um, to who are there and willing to listen to me and can kind of understand. So I think that's going to be good. Now, this has all kind of come together in a big way because there's been a lot of changes, again, in the last few months, and I feel like I get it now. Okay. I've never really felt, as far as direction from God, I've felt like directed, I guess, of this is what you should be doing, but I've never really felt like exact kind of words. And this week, I'm really feeling like God is saying to me, be humbled, my child, look deeper. And I've never felt just that specific before, but I feel like that's what God is doing in my life right now because um, looking back, so, oh man, I'm looking at this right now. My friend made this for me because one of my favorite quotes is by Mother Teresa, and it says, if you judge, you have no time to love. And I did not realize how judgmental I become. I think in my frustration and bitterness, I have been judging people that, like, strangers, and I didn't even realize how just naturally it had been coming to me, and even not strangers, but just situations. So within the last year, I started to get bitter with people who didn't drive and would mooch rides. I started to get bitter about that. But I mean, in some ways, I have one friend that I've kind of been her taxi for 10 years, so that's a little extreme. But, okay, so I was getting bitter about people who didn't find their way around. Well, guess what? I said I had some money issues, so I'm going to be busing. I'm only going to what is going on? That is a shadow. I'm only going to be busing for, I'm going to be busing in the next couple months. I'm not going to have a vehicle. Humbling. Um, what else? Okay, well, I was saying I always kind of thought myself superior before, of like, I took pride in the fact that I've never tried drugs or smoking, but I'm lucky that I haven't. But if I have food problems, I'm no different. So that was humbling. Um, Another thing is, yeah, money. Just with the money in general, I always kind of thought, "Ugh, I can't." Like, I never understood people that went into debt and would like be paycheck to paycheck. I was like, why do they spend more money than they have? And then, yeah, boom, there goes my money. So just a lot of things like that that I'm like kind of waking up. And even the funny thing is, since I've been hearing this like be humbled, my child, look deeper. I've had very specific other things this weekend where there'll just be something that's comes into my world, and um, basically I feel like God gives me a chance to make my judgment, and then pretty much immediately proves me wrong. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I should pay attention now. So I'm trying to do that. So now the thing is, I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't take everything away, because I'm like, okay, I'm losing my money right now. I'm again, I still have a job. I'm not out of money. I'm still making money, and I'm doing okay. But um, I won't be having a car. I'm like, okay, all these things. Thankfully, the relationship thing came to my attention, so I can get a chance to work on that. But I started to think like, are you going to take away that? Are you going to take away everything? And then I couldn't donate blood this week. I went to donate blood, and they do the finger poke first to see check your iron. My iron was too low, so I'm like, oh, what's wrong with me? I'm like, am I going to lose all my relationships, all my health? So I kind of had a little bit of a panic earlier this week where I was like, oh, how much are you taking away from me? And again, I know that God has a plan and there's always a reason. God just doesn't take things away to be cruel. But it was scary. So I think so far, I think those are the things that, are getting taken away. And I'm learning. But yeah, for me, that was my way to avoid my issues. Not only, I kept busy, but I would distract myself by just eating and eating and eating, and then I would be focused on that instead of dealing with the things I needed to deal with. So uh, I'm just seeing if there's anything else I missed. I wanted to read the devotional from yesterday, but I'm not gonna because I only have 2 minutes and I forgot it. It's in my room. So oh yeah, the reason I realized this was because there's a song called "Give Me Your Eyes," and I can't think of who it's by right now. It's called "Give Me Your Eyes So I Can See." It's a Christian song, and when I was listening to my iPod yesterday, that came up, and I was like, "Oh, that's what you're doing," because I did not have the eyes that I was trying to have before, because I wasn't seeing things. So pretty much, I feel like God's saying, "Well, you're not seeing it, so here, I'm going to put you in that situation that you're not being understanding of, and now you're going to see it." So that's what's up. And yeah, I think that's it. So the devotional was basically, I don't know. I think I'm going to do a separate video. So I'm going to stop here, let this do its thing, and then maybe after, depending on what time it is, I might just record. You know what? No, I'm going to write it in the underbar. I'm just going to write what was in the devotional yesterday, and then if you're interested, you can read that, because I found it was very connected to what I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry if this is a downer, but the shadow is driving me nuts. It's a shadow from that. Anyway, that's what's going on with me. So definitely my health journey is taking a very deep dive into the emotional realms of it, psychological realms. So here we go. Let's see what happens. And yeah, thank you for watching and have a great day.